What's up, hub heads? Building an engine, you're gonna need components. Where do you get great custom components? EGGE. Who's that? They've been around for a long, long time. Tony, you were saying since
1915.
1915.
Right.
Always been making components like pistons and things like that.
And engine building, that sort of thing back in the day. But now we make the parts for nostalgic motors is our thing. Any nostalgic motor you have, we make the internal engine parts for it.
Well, now let's define our terms here. When you say nostalgic motor, what do you mean by that?
Anything pre-1980, domestic-made motors.
Yeah, that's a lot of motors that you make parts for then.
That's right, we do. We have a ton of molds for all of our pistons. We manufacture all the pistons and the valves. All the other components we source and get for our customers.
And who would you say are your how do I put this? What types of cars do you have the most customers for?
Wow. Well, it's going to be the rods, the hot rods, and then also restoration concours things too, like the Cords and Auburns, that sort of thing.
And a lot of your products you can't really see. You know, they're in there, so you gotta depend on performance a lot. Obviously, you guys are performing very well.
Yeah, we are. Most of our pistons that we manufacture are for replacement pistons, not so much a performance piston. But what we really sell is a motor that you're going to enjoy, because they can't. It's not like, hey Bob, let's go buy a new piston, right? But so we're helping them to have a motor that they're going to enjoy and drive their car.
And that's what it's all about, is driving it.
That's right. I think so. Burning rubber all the time.
Unless it's a concourse car, then you want to drive it very, very carefully. Let's bring in Sam here on grass, exactly, with white gloves on. Let's talk to Sam. Sam, now you're more of the customer service expert you were telling me about. When you're dealing with customers, give us some scenarios that you might come across.
Well, every day on the phone, we always have new challenges of people calling up asking for parts they can't find locally, looking for oddball things to get their engines together they can't find at the local auto parts stores or any machine shop in their neighborhood. And what we do is we pretty much manufacture all these parts, like Tony was saying earlier, to bring back all the early nailhead Buick engines from the 50s and early 60s. We work on Cadillacs all the time, from anywhere from the 1930s up to early 70s about. And all these people call up on the phone requesting valves and pistons and bearings and gaskets, lifters, any of those things. And we all have to be prepared on the phone to answer all those questions, because they go, I got a 1919 so-and-so. And we're like, oh, okay, yeah, I think we got something for that. Or it can go to, anything from a Cadillac to a Packard to a Hudson to a Kaiser to all the independent makes and models, Studebakers, etc.
And at EGGE, you guys manufacture these components on site, so I imagine you guys have a bunch of CNC machines running?
Absolutely, yeah. We got about 20 people roughly working in the machine shop all the time. We do cast our own pistons there, pour them right there in the permanent steel molds. Then we machine the valves as well, and sometimes we have to make custom pistons and valves at people's requests. Machine the correct head diameter, stem diameter, length, and they send samples in that we make them from.
Now, would you say you do more custom orders, or people are buying stuff that have already been manufactured?
Both. Actually, most of the parts we do have on the shelf for a lot of these vehicles ready to go. If they called up for something, you need pistons, like let's say 30 over for like a 273 Plymouth, we got those on the shelf. They're ready to go. We try and keep all those oversizes on the shelf. But sometimes certain things, certain make and model vehicles, we may not have a specific part for on the shelf, and then we have to make it accordingly for them.
Tony, let me ask you this. Do you guys have any sort of company cars that you use to display the stuff that you make, anything like that?
So we don't have like a whole bay of cars or anything like that. We like our customers' cars to be our cars.
Oh, there you go. And that's probably the best company car to have, is a customer car.
Sure is, yeah. As long as they're enjoying it, that's what it's all about.
Now, Tony, give us your typical day at EGGE.
My typical day? It starts up early. We're an early shop, and the manufacturing gets in there around 5 in the morning. I get in at 7, and working on the marketing thing is what I do, but I think what's most important is what the manufacturing guys are doing, pouring pistons, going into the CNC machines and all the other machining to be done, and Sam working the phones and helping people out. One thing we're known for is that people call up, ask questions about what they need done, and we're there to help them. If we can't sell them the part, we'll tell them where they can go to get the part. And that's what we do. We're there to help people.
And that's really what it's all about in the car community, is if you guys can't supply it yourself, you're going to point them in the right direction. It's kind of what we're doing at the Hub. It's a big network, a community. Sam, let me ask you this. Like Tony was saying, if someone calls up and says, I need a particular piston that maybe you guys don't have, would you first think, hey, maybe we should start making those ourselves?
We would definitely try. It depends on how specific it was or what they needed to fit their needs. Sometimes we refer customers to purchase forged pistons or racing pistons, depending on how much horsepower they want to put out or how much they want to customize the engine. Then we would recommend them to another company. If it was something relatively stock that we needed to do, then we might consider making it ourselves.
Now, Tony, let me ask you this. First of all, where are you guys based?
We're in Santa Fe Springs, California.
Okay, so you're out here in the hot rod capital of the world. Now, if someone, let's say from Ohio or something, needed some pistons, how would they get a hold of you?
Yeah, they can give us a call at 1-800-866-EGGE.
It's pretty easy, and that's EGGE, right?
Yes, it is.
And what about
3443?
3443 on your touch-tone phone. What about a website?
And that's at www.egge.com, or we're at the Hub Garage as well.
I love that. I guess if you just Google EGGE, you can probably find you guys that way too, right?
Sure can.
Santa Fe Springs, California. And you know they're part of the Hub because it's the coolest car community on the net.
This is Tony from EGGE Machine, and you're watching Hub TV.
This is Sam from EGGE Machine, and you're watching The Hub.